Hi, this is Junaid, neurocritical care, stroke and epilepsy specialist. Today we're going to talk about Neurology Pocketbook. Now you all know that I'm actually a big proponent of digital health and digitalization and digital transformation of healthcare in the first place. But what do I do practically for it, right? I mean, you might say, okay, that's good in concept. What are you actually doing? So this is my education endeavor that I wanted to really hone into a problem that is to be solved, which is just-in-time learning for the next generation of neurologists. This is a digital pocketbook that is mobile friendly, that will be helpful for both physicians and eventually patients. We don't have a patient arm yet, but we'll also add that in moving forward. So this is the website on the top, as you can see, in which there's completely a beautiful way that you can actually see that this is extremely mobile friendly. And why did I do that? Because there's clearly a digital transformation happening both in healthcare and in education. So we need to make sure that we are developing resources that are for the modern age. And that is one of my endeavors that I wanted to do. The core features are that it is digital content, it is creative focused, it is concise, and more importantly, it is something that is mobile friendly. And what really I mean by digital transformation. So just to explain for some of you guys that do not have that concept, is that there's clearly a digitization to digitalization to digital formation. What is happening is that you can just turn a map into a pagination of PDF. You can still don't have any new user experiences or data forms, etc. in terms of digitization. But when you go to digitalization, which was MapQuest back in, I don't know, 2012, where you are actually able to at least put destination and location and then get turn-by-turn directions. Now we're living in an age of digital transformation where like mapping technology not only provides pathway in terms of you from a direction, but also provides a slew of services like DoorDash, Walmart deliveries, etc., where the mapping technology has digitally transformed the whole business experience end to end. And that's where we want to get to for both education and healthcare. So this is not new, right? I mean, as a matter of fact, what we're looking at is that there's a huge cultural shift both in work, learn, and health. Virtual care, remote learning, and remote work is the norm. Believe it or not, in the United States at least, there's actually a big push and it is becoming a norm rather than an alternative approach to work, learn, and health. Not only that, we're seeing that there's a significant shift in the Generation Z. They're all mobile first. So what you're looking at is that I personally cannot work without a keyboard. But what I'm seeing is that more and more people are actually mobile first, and they are actually getting their information from a mobile first. So we need a resource for the next generation, the Generation Z of neurologists, that they are mobile first resources and are built from ground up in a way that is mobile first. So education clearly is going through a significant transformation with MOACs, edX, Coursera, hybrid, modular learning. And believe it or not, these courses were eventually thought to be, oh, well, these are something that's new. But what they show is that you are self-initiated. What they show is that you are actually a self-learner. As a matter of fact, those are things that are more important to me as a corporate director than anything else, because things are changing at such a massive level. I don't care when you get your master's or a PhD. If you don't know how to learn, you're done. And those things that the shift is going on, the most important value that I'm looking for is learning how to learn, because that's where the new corporate environment goes through because of the massive shifts in technology that is going on. And similarly in healthcare, you can see that there's a complete digital transformation that is going on, and that transformation is not going to stop. We are seeing a complete digitalization of healthcare that is in the making, starting with virtual care. So what do we need? So we need an applied clinical stuff, right? I mean, we don't need something that is neuroscience, etc. What we need is something that is applied clinically. We need it concise because we need it mobile level. We need to be able to go right away and get the reference we need and then move on. And it's practical, right? Both in terms of application from a clinical perspective and user experience, because if it's not user friendly, then it's not going to be used. All these things need to be solved. It has to be up to date, it has to be mobile friendly, peer reviewed, and of course, open access. Now, open access doesn't have to be, but that's my passion. I'm not going to be very honest with you. You can still make money on open access. I'm not going to lie to you. The question really is not making money. The question is that this resource is going to be available for resource limited countries where people do not have access to paid journals, which is sometimes makes me inside burn a lot because, you know, we have paid for those clinical researches through government grants, which all taxpayers are basically paying for, and unfortunately you're still not getting access to the results, which is awful. So I have made sure that this is for non-commercial purposes is going to be open access. So what is the key thing? The key thing is just-in-time learning. If you're looking at a patient and you want to know information about AIDP, Guillain-Barré syndrome, you literally go into that chapter and you have step-by-step instructions of how to diagnose this, what is the treatment protocol, and what is actually the management protocol in that particular situation. It has to be concise, and that's where the just-in-time learning comes from, because everything is getting updated in such a fast pace that you need to make sure that you're getting abreast to it. So all the authors that are actually contributing, and I personally make sure that, I'm an avid reader, so I make sure that if there's a new study that has clinical applications, that particular thing is updated in the chapter right away. So therefore, you have the most up-to-date, just-in-time learning for that particular subject. And that would be very crucial, especially for countries like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, where there's resources limited, and therefore it's going to be open access and available for free. Now, why you should contribute into Neurology Pocketbook? It's very simple. You are already taking notes. You're already learning. What I'm telling you is that you should learn more creatively, more intentionally. You should create more effectively. If you're learning about a subject, you're going to take notes somewhere anyways. Why don't you take it into the app called Notion, which is actually the whole thing is built on, and then you can just transform it into a chapter. It's very simple. You are already making all the effort that you're doing. Why don't get a publication out of it? Why don't you actually make sure that everything you learn is actually more consumed, is creating and not just consuming? And therefore, whenever you're consuming, you're intentionally learning and you're creating while you're learning. So that's one thing. Recommendations. So I do write rather recommendations personally for people who have shown above and beyond expertise, have written multiple chapters or helped through the editing and everything. So therefore, you do get a lot of recommendations, not all the time, sometime. And there are actually other faculty members mentoring you. I actually encourage them to write letter of recommendations to those people who have shown above and beyond effort. Then you get the community. This is a Discord community that we have created, and everyone is actually involved in that community, and therefore that is an automatic social proof for you, for your hard work. You have shown people communication, you have shown hard work, and that community becomes your social proof, your reference to other places that you need to apply, because I don't have that reach, right? I mean, maybe you're applying in Bangladesh, I don't know. And nobody knows Junaid Kalia in Bangladesh, but there are 4 people from Bangladesh and they know people over there. So therefore, this community is extremely important in terms of creating social proof and a reference, more important than, believe it or not, the letter of recommendation. And then the community is active on social media. So we are basically posting everything online. So therefore, you get another level of social proof. You're expected to post online your work and other people's work as well, so that these things that are being done are available to everyone to see. And you get a personal webpage. So neurologypocket.com/Junaid Kalia will be sort of my URL. And then you can actually design your own personal webpage, and there you can control your own narrative in the current world. And it is extremely important. One of the things that I try to do over here is not just teach neurology, or able to, at least for the authors, I want to make sure that they learn the newest digital tools that are available in terms of project management, publishing, etc. And when they learn these tools, that's going to help them for life, for creating their own content for consumption in a public level or private level, right? I mean, you will need, at least any position, you're going to need your own content to be revised. And if you do that in an effective manner, you're going to have multitude of benefits moving forward if you do that creatively, intentionally, and effectively. So make sure you do show your work as well, because it's one of those things that I learned later in life. It is extremely important that you create social proof for yourself, because once you create social proof, you don't really need references, believe it or not. But you will need references. What I'm saying is that you're in building your reference by definition, and that is extremely important in terms where we are peer-to-peer community in the clinician space. So you need social proof, period. So make sure you show your work. And we have made some guides for you that you can actually use and utilize to get up to speed with this new social platforms that we use for disseminating this information. So in that part 2, I'm going to discuss how we do it, like how you can contribute, what is the Notion, what is it? It basically is a website that also has wiki and a project management, and we use MDX1, which turns your Notion into web page into which is designed as a blog into a website. And in this regard, I'm using it to turn it into an ebook. Again, grateful for your time. Thank you. If you save a life, it is as if you saved the life of mankind. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and my newsletter. If you want to get in touch with me, the best way is to go through Twitter or via LinkedIn. Also, make sure you follow the Academy website for regular updates. Thank you so much.